My problem is I get too much huzz. When you get too much huzz, it's a problem. So this is the story of Coney Island girl, a girl I've dated for almost over 2 years, on and off, love of my life. And recently, we got back together, but about 3 days ago, we broke up once again. Let me tell you the story of how this last breakup went by. Because if you heard the first story, you know this shit is a fucking cinema. Okay, you know this shit is cinema. Fortunately for my life, but this part 2, I could not have written it to be this way, okay? I swear, bro, I'm not doing this on purpose. I met her as my neighbor. She was my neighbor in California. And then she moved to New York, and I also moved to New York. Not for her, but for, you know, different reasons. But then we met up in New York, and I was apartment hunting for like a month. I was homeless, and she let me sleep at her place for like a whole month. And that's when we got really close together. And we began kind of dating on and off for like the entire year after this, until earlier this year where we kind of broke it off. Well, I asked her out and she said no. And I was really heartbroken. And, you know, there was a lot of reasons, a lot of complications that went inside. I moved out of New York. I moved in, you know, we were on and off. So I was very heartbroken. But then about 3 months ago, she told my roommate that she missed me. So I texted her back and we reconciled. And we began talking again. And then about 2 weeks ago, we started talking for real. So I skipped some of the details of the first part, but that is the summary of the beginning. I skipped the song. Okay, let me tell the song part, okay? So basically the first breakup we had, I went to an apartment in New York and I had to make sure that everything was gonna break up, or was done for, right? So I came up and we talked, and once I confirmed that it was no longer gonna be a thing, I told her, okay, before I go, let me play you this song I made for you. And the song was Coney Island on Spotify. This song right here, okay? And then, you know, we laid on the bed, and this exact light that I have here, this exact light, I bought this from her. I bought this light from her about 2 weeks ago. It lights up like the entire like roof and shit. So we had this in her room, and we were playing my song. Not this one. We were playing this song. Right? We were playing this song. And then after the song ended, I said, I guess it's goodbye. And I left. And I was crying, running in the rain outside the New York Lower East Side, back home. So that was part 1. And I never talked to her until we reconnected. Now, fast forward to 2 weeks ago, where we reconnected and we were talking. Everything was going great until 3 days ago. She texted me, I need to talk to you. And I was like, oh shit. You know, that's never a good thing, bro. If someone sends you a text, especially a girl, saying, I need to talk to you, it's bad, bro. It's bad. Like, she either found out about some shit that she wasn't supposed to find out about. But then I was like, yo, there's nothing about me that was not supposed to be found out. Like, I'm an open man. My whole shit is on the internet. Whoa, how bad can it be? But still, I got some anxiety. You know, when I saw that text, I was like, oh shit. That night, I was like, we FaceTimed. We FaceTimed that night, okay? Talking about some random shit. How are you doing today? How are you doing? What you do? Hey, funny, banter. And then at some point, I'm like, yo, what was that thing you wanted to talk to me about? And she says, oh, I think we should talk in person for that. So I'm like, oh shit. That's some serious shit. That's some serious shit, bro. What you mean talk in person? And I was like, no. You already opened the can of worms. I can't wait until we talk in person. I need to know now. She was like, okay, well, let's talk about it. And she said that I said some shit on my stream, okay, a couple like last Thursday or some shit, you know, like last week. She says I said some shit on stream that pissed her off, or that like made her not feel good, right? And I was like, what is this about? Like, what could I have possibly fucking said? I was going through every simulation in my head, and you know, she was telling me how usually she never watched my stream before, but this was the one stream she saw. And this stream, chat, mind you, was when we were trying to do the league date with one girl on League that never happened. Okay, that girl was probably a guy trying to catfish us. But obviously that was a joke. But then I was talking with Daniel about the situation with Coney Island, right? And remember, I had some of you guys in the chat come on Discord with me, and I was asking y'all, should I date Coney Island or not? And you know, some of this is like, it's for jokes and shit, but she's not really familiar with the Twitch culture, and obviously people have different opinions about different things. And there was some shit that I said, okay? I'm not going to go into the specifics. Basically, there was some shit I said that she wasn't happy about. And I was trying to explain the context, bro. I was like, no, so no. So this is the context, you know, because of our stream, I speak more abrasively. You know, I'm like, sometimes I'm just saying shit, bro. You know, I'm just bantering with my chat. Like, it's not serious. It's not any of this. But from her perspective, it's like someone I'm really close to, you know, shouldn't say this about me. And then it was like, and she started mentioning how we started mentioning stuff about the past. You know, that's when it gets bad, bro. As when you start mentioning shit about the past to refer to the present or explain shit in the present, and then the whole fucking can of worms get like open and shit is bad, bro. Bad. And then I get triggered, she gets triggered, we start fighting, bro. Like we're not happy on the call. Neither of us are fucking happy, bro. That's what was happening. I was sitting on this couch right here, bro, right here for 2 hours at night. I was on the phone, FaceTime, and talking with her. You know, the shit I said is public, right? It's in that VOD, right? I said some stuff about, you know, her not wanting to be on stream and me discussing if I should date her or not. You know, this kind of like it's almost like a private talk you would have between you and a close friend of yours, right? But for me, this, you guys, not to be parasocial, but like, you guys are my close friend, bro. Like, I don't like interact with that many people nowadays, and so I'm talking to you guys about this shit. But obviously it's public, bro. Obviously it's public. That's a different shit. And so, you know, she's not happy that I'm exposing certain things about her not wanting to come on stream, or I said the word insecure and all these things. But you know, she's not necessarily insecure. Maybe she just doesn't want to be on stream, and that's perfectly fine, right? So listen, chat, okay? This goes deep, you know. But you know, because I'm on stream for hours, like every other day. Like there's gonna be some shit I say that people are not gonna be happy about, right? Like some people at any given time is going to be offended by the shit I say. But it's bad when it's someone that is like very close to you. That's when it's bad. So basically we just had a back and forth, and at some point we start talking about how we were incompatible. For me, that's like a trigger for me, because I hate that saying. And all you have to know is at some point I'm like, all right then, I guess this is it. This is goodbye. This is not gonna work, but I love you. There are certain things I gotta do. All this shit I'm going through, I don't know how to solve this. I don't have the solution right now. So I guess this is it. And I kid you not, at this sentence, after I said, I guess this is it, I love you, at this exact time, my phone dies and the call hangs up. The call ends. I'm like, oh shit. I thought I had some other shit to say. But you know, it's very hard to hang up. It's very fucking hard to hang up, bro. We talked to her, but my phone ran out of battery, so it hung up. I rushed to my computer, right? She's calling me back. It doesn't pick up because my phone's dead. I rushed to my computer. I opened iMessage on my Mac. And at this point, I took a step back and I thought about it for a second. And if I call again, we're just gonna keep going back and forth. It's not gonna get resolved. I might as well just end it right here. And at this point, I'm very emotional. Keep in mind, right? I'm very emotional. She's probably very emotional too. And I'm thinking all sorts of bullshit. You know, I'm like tearing up at this point. So I decide to just end it. So I sent a text, not even face to face. That's the thing. Yeah. Right before the call ended. You reminded me of some shit. Right before the call ended, she was asking me, I think we should talk face to face before we end this. We should talk face to face. And I was like, dude, I was delirious. I was getting delirious. I was like crying and laughing on the couch. I was like, nah, we shouldn't. You know, we're just gonna keep talking. We're not gonna come to any solution. You know, it's gonna keep going around. It's gonna loop forever. And I'm crying. At this point, I'm crying. I'm like, nah, we should not meet face to face. This is it. Goodbye. And I was smiling like, this is it. Goodbye. Bro, I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. And then my phone dies. So I go to my computer. At this point, I'm like, holy shit. Like, this is real right now. Like, I'm actually like cutting this off. And in my head, I'm like, but she's the love of my life. I'm gonna be so sad. Like, I'm never gonna see her again. You know, like, what the fuck? What am I doing? But then I was thinking also, maybe this is for the best. So I decided to send a text. I sent a text. And in the text, I said, chat, what do you guys think I said in the text? What do you guys think I said in the text, bro? Maybe in another life. Maybe come back. Come over. That would be some shit I say. League? Yeah, I'ma kill you, Josh. No one got it, bro. I said, find someone better. I love you. And then I blocked her. And I just cried, bro. I just fucking cried. Because the reason I did that is because I want her to, you know, I was thinking for her to move on from me, she needs to think I'm not good for her. So she needs to find someone better. And she's gonna keep calling me and stuff like that. I just said, I don't want to do it. I want to keep talking to her, right? But I just ended it. But this was actually not the end. So I was crying. I was heavy crying, bro, after that. I was like, damn, I really fucking blocked the love of my life. The fuck am I doing here? So I go to the kitchen, drink some water and shit, cry. I prepare to go shower. I pass by Daniel's room. I see him gooning. I give him a nod. He sees me crying. He understands. He gives me a nod. I prepare to go shower. And then I hear a knock on the door. I was like, is that, like, what is that? I wasn't sure what that was. I was like, what is that sound? Someone trying to open the door and shit. You know, I'm pulling up with this. Like, who the f is at the door right now? Right? Then I pull up at the door. Delivery man. No, it's not delivery man. I pull up at the door and I look through the peephole, right? The peephole. I see no one. So I'm like, all right, it's some bullshit. It's like some delivery guy or some shit. And I opened the door, right? I opened the door because I was like, I gotta make sure. Like, there's no way she just knocked left. But I opened the door. She's sitting below the door. Like, at the bottom of the door, she's sitting in front. And I get jump scared, bro. I'm like, oh shit. She's there. Coney is there in front of my door. I don't know how she got there that fucking fast, bro. Like, I don't know, bro. Like, I was thinking if it's her, I cannot let her in, bro. But if I open the door, I'm cooked. But there was no way. I just don't know how she got it that fast, bro. Like, she must have, as soon as I hung up, she must have called the Uber or some shit and arrived. And I was like, damn. And she looks up, she's on her phone, right? She's probably texting Daniel to help open the door. And she looks up at me, like, and I open the door, I'm like, and we're just frozen there for like 5 minutes. And then she's like, can I come in? I'm making shit. I'm not making shit. On God, bro. I swear this shit happened. Everything I said right now happened. You think this was easy for me, bro? This was not easy for me, bro. Okay? Listen. So I open the door. We make eye contact. We're frozen there for 5 minutes. She asked, can I come in? I'm like, yeah, you can come in. What am I supposed to say at that point? Like, no, you can't come in. Go back home. I really wanted to say that, but I couldn't, bro. I couldn't. I'm soft, bro. You know, I have a soft heart at the end of the day. And so she walks in. We sit on this couch right here, bro. Right here. The next 2 hours, we're sitting on this couch, okay? We're sitting there in silence. In silence, bro. Next to each other. I'm sitting like this, looking in the front. I'm like thinking. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck to say at this point. And she's sitting right there beside me, looking at me. That shit was tough, bro. That shit was tough. We were sitting there. So we started talking, bro. You know, we started like talking. How should we deal with this? And I think the first thing I said was actually, so why'd you come? You know, like, why are you here? Dude, it was very hard, bro. I said the words, you should go. That's what I said. I was like, you should go. And then she was like, no, I can't because I just wanted to see you. I was like, fuck, bro. So we talked for 2 hours, man. Like, or no, we were in silence for like an hour. And then we talked for another hour. And towards the end of it, we started laughing. Because the situation was so ridiculous, bro. Like, all this shit is so ridiculous, right? Like, why is this so deep? For what? So we started laughing at ourselves. And we hugged it out. We hugged it out. You know, I was like, I really love you. And she said, I really love you too. You know, I really care about you. Feeling was mutual between us. Right? But it's just because of certain circumstances that we couldn't, you know, we couldn't stay together in this current moment. And we reached, you know, a conclusion, basically. It was like, we still love each other. But I told her there are certain things I have to do right now. And I have to get my life together and you have to get your life. And she said, me too. But we still love each other. And then I said, your Uber is here. And she left. And you would think that was the end of the story. But when I went down to go to her Uber, we hugged before she left and we kissed. Like, goodbye, I love you. I don't know when's the next time I'm gonna talk to you or see you again, but goodbye. After I walk up to my apartment, I'm crying. Like, this is why I'm crying. I'm like, damn, I just lost the love of my life. Like, this shit's over now. And I walk up on this table right here, this brown table right here. I see a phone. It's her phone. She left her phone at my place by accident. So I'm like, oh my God. I thought it was the end, but I got trolled again. You know, the first FaceTime hang up, I blocked her. I thought that was the end. She shows up, she leaves. I thought that was the end. But then her phone is here. I'm like, oh my God, there's another hope. Don't get my hopes up again. Stop getting my hopes up. I swear on everything. I'm not making this up. I have a picture of this. Okay, let me show you. Let me show you the picture of this. I can't believe you guys think I'm making this up. Look at this. Her phone. I sent her a picture of her phone. What is this? Let me see what time this is. 2 a.m. bro. 2 a.m. This is fucking 2 a.m. I saw her picture of her phone. I'm like, yo, you forgot your phone. And she says, can I come get it tomorrow? Of course. I'm like, yeah, oh, yeah, of course. So then I go to bed. I'm like, well, I guess I'm seeing her again tomorrow. Like, we just can't get away from each other, bro. Like, maybe we're just meant to be. At this point, I'm thinking like, what the man, maybe we're just meant to be. Like, honestly, I still think we're meant to be, bro. I still think so. She has 2 phones because she has one for her work. She has a work phone. She has a work phone and a personal phone. That was her personal phone she left here. This is one of those plots where you can't believe it because the main character is so dumb. How am I dumb, bro? What would you have done in my shoes? Like, what would you be doing in my shoes? Chase her? But the thing is, chat, you don't know what's gonna happen either. Like, you don't know what exactly your direction in life you're going into either. Okay, keep this in mind. Like, you're not sure what you're doing either. Like, I don't have all the answers, you know? Someone from outside looks at my life and it looks perfect. Damn. 6'5", handsome, living in the best city in the world, in the middle of it, 6 figures. Shit, this sounds pretty good actually. No, it's not perfect, bro. Okay, listen, I wake up, I'm like, what's the point? That's the first thing that crosses my mind when I wake up, bro, is what's the point, bro? Like, what's the point of any of this? How is that shit not perfect? That's a you problem. Yo, stop distracting me. Let me continue my story, bro. Yes, so her phone was here. So she's like, I told her, okay, come pick it up tomorrow. Next day, right? Yo, the night. But the thing is, like, I'm going to sleep. I'm thinking, I mean, yes, she's gonna come tomorrow, but it's like, it's over. Like, we already agreed that it's over. So I'm still sad, you know? I'm crying. I had a headache how much I was like, because I was crying, like, I was tearing up the entire night, right? Talking with her. So my eyes were like huge, like just bloated, and I had a headache from how bloated my shit was. And I woke up at like 12 p.m. bro, like noon something, like noon 12:30 or some shit, and I had a headache. I was like, what's going on? There's like tissues all over the floor, not because I was gooning, because I was, you know, cleaning my nose and shit. And then she texts me, yo, can I pull up right now? So I was like, yeah. So I get up the bed quick, bro. I get up the bed quick. I start washing up, you know, I do my hair and shit, everything, clean up. I walk out my bathroom door, boom, she's there in the hallway. Like, she just arrived. She entered my apartment. And this is how it was, bro. This is the bathroom door. I open it. You're Coney Island right now, right? I open the door. Boom. Freeze frame. 5 minutes. We're just frozen looking at each other, bro. Once again. You're frozen right there, like. And then I'm like, hi. She's like, hi, hello. And she's like, I thought you left. And I was like, no, I'm here. So she takes off her shoes, comes in, takes her phone. And I'm like, well, do you want to sit down? So she sits down. I'm not gonna lie, chat, I capitulated, bro. I capitulated. I was very happy to see her, bro. I'm not gonna lie, I was very happy to see her again. I capitulated. So I was like, sit down. Let's hang out for a little bit longer. So we sat down, we talked for a little bit more. I was like, yo, let's go eat. Let's go have lunch. I capitulated, bro. Boom. We go eat. What do we eat? We ate Chipotle. We ate Chipotle, bro. Bryant Park. Same shit I do every day. I go to Chipotle and I go eat it at the park. Bryant Park right beside. Okay, no, I'm not gonna bring her to Cafe China, bro. Oh. We have lunch. We have a really nice lunch. We just talk about like random shit. We're laughing with each other, you know? It's like we're on a date. It felt like I was on a date, bro. Like, I was having lunch with her. Everything was good. We were laughing. We're thinking about the good times we had. And we're talking about the good times we're gonna have in the future. We're like, yeah, how many kids you want and shit, bro? I was like, where do you want to live in the future? Like, as if we're gonna live together. As if we're gonna have kids together. That shit was amazing, bro. Like, we were laughing. We were having fun and all that shit. And then she had to go. She had to go. We walked to the subway right in front of the subway station. And then, you know, it's almost like the entire dream just collapsed, right? Like, everything we were talking about, all this illusions. As I stare at her and we both come to the realization that she now has to leave, I have to leave, and we don't even know when's the next time we're gonna talk to each other or see each other again. We do a long hug, bro. Long hug. Long ass hug. And you in the middle of New York City, like right beside Bryant Park, you have the trees, you have the tall buildings, bunch of people just walking through, bro. Like from the back, from the right, from the front. We were just standing in front of the sidewalk, just hugging, bro. Hugging. People walking through were just blocking their asses. They're like, I'm walking here. I'm like, you. And then we kiss, and she walks down those stairs, the subway. And before she disappears into the subway, she does one last look back, and she smiles at me. And I'm just standing there looking down. I smile at her, and then she disappeared. And that was the last time I ever saw her, chat. That was 2 days ago. And that was the last time, chat. So the thing is, like, when I left her, like, I kind of said, I'm gonna come back for you. But I don't know, maybe there's still a chance, bro. Maybe there's still a chance.
Broke, but I never was a miskin. On a block, I was listening to Mitski.